So we are live. Last time we left off with Henry had gone off to sleep because he didn't last night. He went off tromping with Bennett, and then he stayed up um, all night because he wanted to meet back up with Call. Ren came too, but Ren was very, I don't exercise, and was sitting in the bleachers as Henry and Call, were running laps. Henry started telling what had happened the night before. The laps quickly came to an end. Um, and then after a bit of no, you can't function on no sleep, Henry was sent to bed um, to wait and in the once the words are hard. And then once he was actually rested and had his mental capacity about him, he could choose what to do about Bennett and the reveal that he may or may not be married. Um, um, After that, Ren and Call went back to the Dozens barracks. Hi, Sid. Um, uh,
Cindy, I love you.
After they went back to the Dozens barracks, we cut it off pretty quickly. The only thing of note is that the majority of the dozen is in the barracks eating breakfast. Esley is not there. Um, I think that's where we left off. And super usefully, I at the end of last session I was rewatching the video. I was like, and next time we'll, and then I got distracted and never came back and finished that sentence. Um, so that's great. Um, and then just before going live, I hurt myself. Yay. So yeah. Uh, so yeah, I guess we can just jump into Ren and Call in the barracks.
Okay, so I guess we're checking out. We were gonna see if Call had anything that they needed to do. Like I think what Call was saying is that they didn't know if they had the day off or anything like that. So I guess we would be reporting to someone.
Yep.
Okay.
So y'all are looking for Zerka.
Yep.
All right. Um, the quick trip across the hall, as it were, to Zerka's office. Um, the door is actually open, and her and Esley are uh, just kind of chatting inside. Um, but as you come in, they both direct their attention to y'all, and Zerka uh, said, "Man, I'm having a hard time putting words together right now." Zerka looks up at y'all, especially at Call, and says, um, "Are you ready to go, or do you need some more time to rest?"
Um, Call's gonna say, honestly, I feel fine. Did you have something in mind?
Um, she shoots a quick glance at Ren and then says, uh, "Go ahead and close the door behind y'all."
Ooh, Ren's getting invited.
Oh, okay. Ren closes the door.
Um, uh, She says, um, for the most part, scouting is done. Um, we are mostly just waiting on a time when we can get as many of them as we can. Um, we have a few different locations that the light hands frequent. Um, we've been working on plans and surveillance to um, see if we can at least get their major players. Um, obviously, their leader, Miss Erin. Um, I believe we have a couple of lieutenants that maybe y'all don't even know the names of. Um, and we haven't been able to locate. Uh, sorry, refresh my memory because it's been a minute. Um, Call has already given like a full account of how they were put into the pocket dimension, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So she does know about the Keeper of Things, um, but they haven't been able. Zerka says we haven't been able to find um, this Keeper of Things. Uh, we have no intel on this person other than your experience with them.
Mm.
Okay. Um, so we are waiting for good timing, uh, and then we're gonna bring them down.
Noted. Um, how would my assistance be best helpful? And then before Zerka can say anything, Call's gonna pause for a second and kind of be like, "Do they know that I'm back?" Would turns to Ren and is like, the people who helped you, would they have informed the Light Hands that I have returned?"
Jenny, okay.
Ren, yeah, I'm here. Uh, Ren pauses for a second and realizes that he hadn't really stopped to consider that, but is going to try and not show that on his face. But just says, I don't know.
Call's just gonna kind of shrug and be like, I don't know if that's particularly helpful to us one way or another anyway, like whether or not they know. And is gonna kind of look at Zerka and see if she has an opinion on the matter.
Um, I think it would be best to leave surveillance to the rest of the dozen, because if they don't know that you're back, then also the fact of you getting back and giving more information might make them think that it's more likely we would make a move. Um, I think if they don't know that you are back, I would like to keep it that way. Um, and I'm not sure if there's a way that we could figure out if they know or not. So for now, try to stay out of the industrial district and the southern part of the rent districts. Um, and we will probably be moving on this soon, possibly later today.
Noted.
Um, uh, I assume that the third member of your little trio would be assisting as well. There will be plenty of work to go around, and we will probably not. We might go in quiet, but it's probably not going to stay quiet for long.
He'll be upset to miss it.
All right. That being said, I don't have any tasks for you until we are ready to move. Um, so, unless you need something from me,
Call's gonna shake their head and dip.
um, the two of you leave. Estley stays in the office with Zerka.
Okie doke.
Alrighty.
All right. Um, y'all did mention something else that I saw watching last session. Y'all did mention going to a bookstore. Is there something you had planned for a bookstore?
They just wanted to hang out.
All right. Um, okay, so we'll say that y'all head to a bookstore on the west side of town to stay away from the areas Zerka asked you to stay away from. Um, and while y'all are there, we're actually gonna get a little bit of Henry time. Um, Henry returns to his room and goes to sleep. And first of all, when you get there, Patch has already left for the day. So you just kind of plonk down and start getting your, you know, friend assigned sleep. Um, and it's a you get to sleep pretty quickly, um, and it's a restful sleep for most of the time. But obviously, you don't make note of the time passing. But later in your rest, you do. Well, first, what do you think Henry is dreaming about?
Oh God. Um, I think he's having just like very like emotional dreams of like uh crazy things that would never happen regarding like Bennett and um mixing in run and call. So like um I don't know. Just like taking reality and then just like making it dream logic. So like weird people are doing weird things that they never would do and like dramatized versions of what he thinks might happen in the next couple days.
Okay. Um, as those dreams are happening, you that kind of pattern goes over a few times, and then as you kind of images flashing through in different situations, um, you come to one where you're standing in the courtyard. Um, um, ridiculous things being put in the chat right now. Ridiculous. Um, um, you dream that you're standing in the courtyard, and you hear the clash of weapons, like nowhere near to you, but you can somehow still hear it. Um, and you blink and find yourself standing in a warehouse that you recognize as the warehouse that uh, your party and Chels and Trent attacked so long ago now.
Like
Uh,
episode 2?
Yeah, right?
months ago. Um,
Yeah.
even in game.
Yeah.
Um, and it's odd to you because I mean, Henry has some fairly vivid dreams, but this is like it still feels very much like a dream. There's that, just dreaminess to it. But you see very specifically and glowing very brightly the torch that one of the cultists used to try and burn the crates of the vials of the death that they had. Um, and that kind of flashes brightly to where you have to like avert your eyes, and then when you look back, it's not that warehouse anymore. Um, Instead, you are underground. You are in the dungeons, which the same night after that attack, you see you can still feel that it is that night, and you see the cultist that y'all captured uh, in the in the cell standing there in front of you. Um, you remember that you weren't the only one there, but in this dream, it's just you and him, and he is sitting there with his head bowed in a familiar position to you, where he had his hands chained, pulled behind him, and his head was bowed. That was the position that he held almost the whole time that y'all were, attempting to interrogate him before lunging at the gnome who had been taking notes on the encounter, uh, or on the interrogation. And you see him straining at these chains, silently. He's not making any sounds, but you can hear the rattle of the chains as he pulls against them. Um, and you remember asking him his name and him stopping and, almost saying his own name but stopping himself, being confused by the kindness that you showed him. And once again, you see that look of confusion on his face as he looks up at you. Um, and then, as he is still staring at you, you see the tip of Trent's sword emerge from his chest. You don't see Trent, though. You don't see anyone behind him. It's just the sword comes through, and he makes the sound of a dying man. Um, and then, real quick, I need you to give me a wisdom saving throw with whatever benefits and bonuses you normally have.
Sheet loading. Uh, that's a 19.
A 19. Okay. Um, with a 19, you are able to notice that something is directing the stream.
Mm.
It does not stop, and you do not wake up, but you are able to tell that something is driving you into this. Um, and you're not able to tell what it is at the moment, um, but you can tell that you're not just dreaming. Something is making you see these images. Um, and as you are watching Jay with the sword still sticking through his chest, the stone and the uh, dark torchlight and the metal bars of the dungeon kind of fade away until you're not like in a field of white with nothing, but it's just the background is entirely nondescript. It's like the background does not matter, and so there is not one. Um, and the cultist uh, is uh, he's still in front of you with that sword sticking through his chest when he moves slightly, and then rather slowly he straightens up to a more natural and sitting position. His arms are now slack at his sides because the chains are no longer there. Um, you can see all of the wounds that were on him previously, the cuts that had opened uh, when Shells had cast a spell on him, the bloody wound in his chest from the sword, his broken thumbs from when he pulled his hands out of the manacles. The wounds are still there, but none are bleeding. Um, and he just looks at you and says, "Why am I still here?"
Where are you?
Um, his expression doesn't change at all when you say that, and he just continues staring.
Can you hear me?
I thought it would be over.
You know who's keeping you here?
His eyes slowly fall. Um, he says, "I do not know their name, but it is their fault that I'm here."
Was it the woman or the man who was in the cell? The ones at the end?
Um, so just a point of clarification. This is this is Ben telling Asher. Um, from the time that you were in the cell in the dream, there were no other people, just Jay.
Hmm.
Um, back into what's going on. Um, Jay kind of cocks his head at you and says, "Who were they?"
The ones who gave you the owner of the sword, the one who created and he kind of gestures the cuts.
Um, he looks at his own body and seems confused at the many wounds on him. Um, and then he looks back at you again, still with this confused look on his face, and he says, "Who was that?"
They're hands of the Count.
Give me another wisdom saving throw, please.
God. What am I doing? Oh, fucking real good. Uh, 25? Yeah, 25.
25. One second, I have to.
Level 7 paladin, baby.
Um, Okay, you said 25, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Um, uh, okay, with a 25, uh, not only does your sleeping mind not say the names, but also you can feel that something would hear the names if you had said them. Um, but what you actually said was hands of the count. Um, and he like furrows his brow and says, "Why did the count want me dead? Why did the count want me here?"
I don't think the Count put you here. And I don't think the Count wanted you dead. Well, I cannot speak for what the Count wants, but the Count did not put you here. It must have been someone else. Maybe your master? Insight check
Okay.
to see.
In order to make an insight check, I need you to give me a wisdom saving throw.
Nat 20?
Okay. Go ahead and give me an insight check with advantage.
God, thank you for that advantage. God, that was a 3 at first. Um, 18 for my insight check.
Um, I need to roll deception, and I need to get a thing. Just a second. How good is this boy at lying?
I was gonna get real mad if you didn't let me not say their names, because Henry knows Faye. Henry has been around Faye.
Yeah,
He's
but you
not.
you can't give away someone else's name.
Yeah, I don't know.
Hang on, I gotta find a good dice for this here fella. We'll go with this one. Um, okay. Uh, as it turns out, not very good at that. Um, uh, so he does not say anything. Um, but you do watch as the teeth in his mouth turn to fangs, and his mouth like widens, so there is more of it. Um, the ears turn much more animalistic, and his hair seems to sprout further down his back along the now arch of his back. Um, uh, he was kind of malnourished looking and scrawny. Um, patches of fur begin kind of bursting out from his skin as as his arms extend to too long, and begin to bulge with muscle. Um, and from deep within him, you don't see him laughing, but the sound is coming from within him. You hear this chuckling, barking laughter. Um, and you begin to hear wind whipping past your head. Um, and the laughter just kind of becomes the only thing you can hear as it gets louder and louder and louder. Um, and then it all stops. And the images fade, and you wake up at having received a full rest.
Do I remember the dream?
You remember everything. You
Ah!
you rolled so fucking well. Of course you remember everything.
Yeah, that was
Like
ridiculous.
I was gonna try and fuck with you there, but you rolled once under 20. Like
And it was an 18.
yeah. Um so yeah, you remember all of that. Yep.
Still, thanks.
Um
Good job, Henry.
Thank you, thank you.
man, really thought that those I really thought that you would miss that save at least once. Like
What was gonna happen if I missed the save?
you have no clue. Um
It's
you
always
get
rude as fuck when you do that.
you get a
Yeah, I was like, I
feeling it
kind of want to
probably wouldn't
know.
have been great.
Probably not.
um
Why does Yanaku like Henry? Henry's like the antithesis of Yanaku.
has he done anything that makes you think he likes you, or do you think that you know what? I'm gonna stop talking. I don't need to give things away to you. Um,
Or is it just that Henry's in good with his ex-faves, Yina and Nog?
you don't know
Oh my
anything.
god. Oh my god, Asher.
I will die on this hill that Trenton shells are Yina and Nog until we have proof otherwise.
Um, well, I will say you wake up feeling as if something was attempted to be taken from you and it was not taken. Um, because that was bullshit, is what that was. Um,
Can I write a note to Shells and Trent and be like, I got something important to tell you after the dual moons?
sure, yeah, you can do that.
Okay. Um, and I think he put something cryptic like, and it's related to um the first time we fought together. And it's like, let me know when we can meet.
Okay. Um, that being said, Call and Ren, do y'all just hang out at a bookstore for 8-ish hours?
Probably not the whole 8 hours. Um, but
Y'all get lunch and then go back.
I mean, we probably spend at least a little while wandering, like, the safe parts of the market district or something like that. So, just kind of like a day out kind of a thing. Just
Okay.
just wandering around and having a relaxing time. I think that Call's gonna kind of like stick pretty close within Ren's like eye line during this time.
Um,
do a perception check while they're out.
certainly you can do a perception check while you're out.
That's a 10, but who knows?
I mean, there's lots of people around, lots of stores.
Can you
Mm,
find some books?
certainly. Um, actually, I'm gonna use that 10. That 10 did give you something. Um,
Okay.
and I'm going to uh make you comment on it. You you spot a book while you are at the bookstore. Um, that has that is very like nicely bound with like gold inlay. Not like real gold, but just gold colored inlay.
Fun.
One second. Where is it? I have to get it. I have to get the title. Um, uh, where is it? Did I not? The fancy gold inlay, and you read the title as Marigolden, and because it is so nice and caught your eye, you point it out to Call.
Give me like 10 seconds. Maybe longer than that. Yep. Okay. Uh, I had to confirm that it was exactly what I thought it was. Uh, Call's gonna kind of like blink at the book and then kind of like flip the book around, like front to back to front to back to front to back. Kind of tilts around like what the actual fuck. And then go like turn to around and be like, "This is the book that I read while I was stuck in the place."
Really?
Yeah. I didn't realize it was a local book. And so Call's gonna open it and try to like flip through it, possibly suspiciously. Since it's hands-on, would that be an investigation check?
Sure, you can make an investigation check.
Sure. That would be a 26.
26. This is the copy of the book you had.
What the fuck?
The fuck?
I'm so happy that Call's back.
God, me fucking too. Um,
I think Call is going to say as much to Ren, and then is like, "I'm gonna buy it."
Uh,
okay.
2 silver pieces.
Oogie, how dare you make me spend money on a book I kind of already owned, or I didn't own, but I already had.
I mean, you're the one who said you're gonna buy it.
Make a stealth check to steal it.
Rude.
It's not that poor bookseller's fault.
But did the bookseller even buy it, or were they gifted it?
Who knows?
I do need a perception check, Call.
Okay. That was a 12.
You rolled a 2.
I rolled a 2.
Um.
Rip.
Hmm.
Call's very distracted right now.
Fair.
Call is very distracted right now, and like the book also like weirded you out. So you can be forgiven for not being, you know, on it as far as keeping an eye around yourself. Um, but yeah, that happens.
Sus.
Other than that, is there any, if y'all were walking around the market district for, 8-ish hours, anything that y'all tried to buy? Looked for?
Oh god, I didn't think this through. I didn't think I would get this far.
I did think this through and I just forgot everything. Um,
I'm the plankton meme. I honestly didn't think we'd get this far.
oh my god.
Um, I can give you, hang on, I need to know what these do before I offer them to y'all. Oh, what happened? Um, okay. You know what? Both of you can give me an investigation check real quick.
Love it. Nat 20.
Fuck.
Get wrecked.
Um,
9.
well, call with your nat 20. You come across 3 items of interest.
Ooh.
Um, one of them is called a rope of climbing. It is labeled as such, um, but you don't get any other, like, you don't know what that actually means. But it is labeled as such and costs 175 gold.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you find a small pouch labeled let me just double check real quick. Um, uh, it is labeled Dust of Disappearance and
Ooh.
costs 100 gold. Um, and the third is a Drift Globe, which I think does what I'm thinking, but I'm going to just check on it real quick. Heck you. Don't own the Dungeon Master's Guide, but I do. I just gotta find it in the actual fucking physical book. You dick.
Get wrecked.
Eh, God dang Hasbro
Have
making.
you done the have you tried D&D 5e at Wikidot?
I haven't, but I also have the book, and
Yeah, but Wikidot's amazing.
I'm pretty sure that it's just a really cool light, but I need to find it.
Boop. This small glass sphere of thick glass weighs 1 pound. If you are within 60 feet of it, you can speak its command word and cause it to emanate the light or daylight spell. Once used, it cannot be used again until the next dawn.
Um,
Correct.
uh, and it is lifted. That is listed as 120 gold. That one you actually like. The shopkeeper is actually there and describes it to you and what it does. The other two, it's like you just see the tag.
Um, and the shopkeeper's not there.
Shopkeeper doesn't know.
Shopkeeper doesn't know. What a piss poor shopkeeper.
And we're talking like this is like it looks a lot like a thrift shop where you go in and there's like a little bit of everything, and these things are kind of like buried under things. You like dig through and find them. But everything has a little tag attached to it with a price.
Dust of disappearance and rope of climbing. Um, and you said that they were expensive?
Rope of Climbing 175 gold, Dust of Disappearance 100 gold, Drift Globe 120 gold.
Okay. I think is does the place that we're perusing look like the kind of place where inventory moves fast or can call like think on it?
Um, you feel very lucky that you are able to find these things. You think that if you were to put them back down, walk out of the store and walk back in, you probably would not be able to find them again.
God damn it, Ben. You want me to spend money?
Yes.
You do realize you're talking to the person right now who's currently paying for a wedding and is very anti-spending money.
But this is fantasy money.
Yeah, but I still only have a limited inventory. I still have a limited wallet. Um, I think shut up. Shut up, Asher.
I will say that like Ren is there with you, so if you want to like show these things to Ren and say,
Well,
"Hey, do you want to buy
that
this?"
You just interrupted me. I was gonna say
Sorry.
that Call's gonna show it to Ren and ask
Okay.
what Ren thinks about these items.
Oh goodness. Um, hmm.
They're so
One
fucking
second, I'm checking something.
expensive. Then if you wanted me to buy something, you shouldn't have made it 175 gold.
You you have 700 gold.
Yeah, do you that is like saying you have $700 in your bank account. I want you to spend like 20% of that on an item that you don't know what it does.
Bronwyn,
That is bad finances, Ben. This
Bronwyn,
is how you go broke.
Bronwyn, I want you to be aware. Ren has 215 gold because he is very bad with money, and he will buy something for Call if Call shows it to him. Okay?
Well, okay, if Ren tries to do that, Call will physically like take the item out of Ren's hands. This will end up in a tussle. This will end up in a tussle. Call wants Ren's opinion and nothing else.
Roll for tussle.
Call does
Ren's
not
just
want
gonna
Ren's
ask,
money.
do you like it? Just
No,
gonna be that helpful
no,
person at the store.
no. Call wants to know if Ren thinks those items would even be fucking useful, not if they're cute.
He didn't ask if they were cute. He asked if you like them.
Um,
I don't like this. I don't like this
hey,
at all.
I know you rolled a nat 20 earlier, and that got you all three items. Roll me one more investigation check that is for while y'all are just talking.
22.
Fuck. uh. uh, as you're kind of like holding it, you notice there is another tag on the rope.
What does it say?
Um,
So clearance.
does not say clearance.
God
Um,
damn it.
it does say Clarence.
I'm sorry?
Any chance you would read that out loud?
I mean, Call's probably standing right the fuck next to Ren and would at least like and would show Ren, but I don't know. Hold on. I'm going to roll for it. I don't want to make that choice myself. Call does not say it out loud, but Call does show it to Ren.
Does Ren say it out loud?
No, but Ren kind of tilts his head and looks at Call.
Do you think that was a misspelling?
I hope so. Should we ask about it?
It's a really dumb way to misspell a word. I mean, sure, we can ask about it. So they'll take it up to the shopkeep.
Okay, so
Okay.
the shopkeep grabs the tag, turns it over in their hand, kind of squints at it a second, then pulls out a pair of spectacles and puts them on, and then looks at it and says, "Clarence." And one end of the rope shoots up into the air and just hovers there. The shopkeeper notices that, screams, and throws it,
I think
and then it all tumbles back to the ground.
okay, Call's gonna catch it. Um, I think Call's gonna like just stare at it for a second and see if it's doing anything in particular or if it's being very, very still.
Um, After the shopkeep let go of it, it's not like doing stuff anymore. It's just
Oh,
a
okay.
loose rope.
Okay, in that case, Call is gonna say, okay, Clarence.
The same end shoots up and until it's about a foot above your head.
Ren's gonna try something stupid. He's gonna kind of give a concerned look to the shopkeeper and ask, "Where did you get this? Did you know that it could do that?" Like, kind of like edging towards a, "This thing could be dangerous. Are you sure you want it in your shop?" kind of thing.
I love
Um,
you, Ren.
He he's gonna roll for it. Man, what dice is a shopkeeper? Which of you likes capitalism?
Jenny just died coughing in the background.
Oh no. I'm going with this one for I don't know. What kind of check are you wanting to make, Ren? Like, are you trying to persuade
Come
him that he
here.
doesn't want it in his shop? Are you trying to scare him into thinking he
I think
shouldn't
that's
have
a
it?
persuasion. I think it's a
Persuasion?
persuasion.
All right, go
Yeah.
ahead and throw persuasion for me.
Okie dokie. 22.
Fuck. Can y'all stop?
No?
We'll
uh,
stop when you make prices reasonable instead of trying to
um,
fucking rob us of all we're worth.
hey, I am reading these prices. I did not make them up.
Ben is
That is a bad excuse from a DM.
I
okay.
am using the resources at my disposal, okay?
Okay, but
You are.
You don't
magic
have a
items are
brain at your
expensive,
disposal?
guys.
Magic items are expensive, okay?
Oh, I'm
Um
just gonna keep giving you shit. Like this is not.
you see the fucking thing is you've more than doubled his roll. So like I'm like trying to think of a way he can at least weasel something out of y'all. He's going to take a fucking quill and cross off the 1 and the 7.
Excellent. Call will buy it.
Uh, and there you go. 5 gold. You get your rope of climbing that is apparently named Clarence.
I love it.
You're still holding it after you said the name Clarence?
Yeah.
Okay. Hang on, just 1 second. No, I don't think there's a way that you can accidentally that. Um, so yeah, you get it for 5 gold. Do you touch the other 2 items at all? Do you consider them?
Uh, Call's still trying to figure out what the fuck is going on with this thing, though. So before I can answer that, uh, Call's gonna see if it's like that's just a trigger word, or if the rope has a goddamn name.
And Ren,
Like, is yeah.
sorry, can Ren do like an Arcana check to like help suss out what it
Absolutely,
does? Okay.
absolutely. Arcana check.
My desk is a war zone. Okay. That is a 13.
On a 13, you are not getting the feeling that this rope is sentient. Um, it seems as if Clarence is a trigger word for it,
Okay.
or an
I think
activation word.
Call's gonna try and say up and see if it does anything.
Um, yeah. It continues to extend. Um, yeah. It moves 10 feet up into the air,
And then stops.
and then it comes to a stop.
Okay.
By
Call's
the way,
gonna.
it's 60 feet of rope.
Okay. I think Call's gonna like kind of wrap their hand like around the rope, kind of like tight, and then go, "Okay, pull me up?" Question mark.
See, now I have to make a call.
No,
Can
you
it?
don't. I'm right here. You get to make bad jokes, so do I.
You get to mock my bad jokes, so do I.
Yeah, that's fair.
The exchange, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I I was not intending to give you a rope that could let you fly.
I didn't figure it would let me fly. I figured it was the fucking
If you're,
equivalent of like,
but like if you're holding it and tell it up and it pulls you up, I mean that's
well, I figured
flying.
it would be the equivalent of me climbing to the high point on the rope, except I'm not the one doing the work. It's not like I'm moving laterally through space or anything like that.
Yeah, this is just clever use of a tool that's given to them.
So here's what I'm gonna say. First of all, you're still inside, so the rope is like at the ceiling. Um, Here's what I'm gonna say. When you command it up again, you say pull me up, but you do say up, and you're
Yes.
holding the rope without like burning your hand or anything. It like slithers through your hand and like it goes another 10 feet up, but like it's already at the ceiling, so it's like coiling against the ceiling. But it just like magically slips through your hand. So you are not elevated by the rope, but it goes up.
Okay. Uh, I think that Call will just kind of go, okay, come back down now.
um, it comes down. Sorry, the end of the rope comes down 10 feet, so it now has a little U shape. Like it goes
All the
up.
way down.
Um, okay. Um, did you try to like hold on to like lift yourself up at all on the rope?
Not yet, because Call's in a
Okay.
fucking thrift shop. And those places are full of places where you don't want to, like, accidentally knock something over.
Hmm.
So Call's not going to do that.
All right. And what about the dust of disappearing and the drift globe? Anything happening there?
Curious about the dust of disappearing. Um, alright, you know what? No.
No? Okay.
Uh, Instead, I think Call is going to leave and wander towards other shops
Okay.
with Ren.
Alrighty. Um, so that is what y'all found in your time. Um, so I mean, we're getting close to that 8 hour point, unless y'all have something else that you want to do.
Yeah, while they're out, Call is going to wander in to a different part of one of the stores that they're in and come back presenting Ren with a present. Call got Ren a new notebook along with a new quill and some extra ink.
Quick question, because this matters, because this is D&D. Did you get like magical quality ink and paper?
Were we in a store that allowed for that?
I mean, it would not be hard to find. With the university in the city, that stuff is sold like everywhere.
What does magical quality paper even mean?
Um, for transcribing spells
Oh,
is what
no,
it's
it's
for.
just a normal notebook. It's like
Okay.
nice quality, but it's a
So
normal
good
notebook.
quality, but not magic quality. Which
Correct.
is magic quality is like treated. It's not like this paper is only from walnut trees.
I
It
like that tone. That was a good voice.
that'll be the haughty uh what is the word, bodega clerk.
Love that. Um, processing. I think Ren is very moved. He's very, very Jenny's remembering how to talk. They coughed half their brain out today, so they're working on it. Um, yeah, Ren, he just looks really, really. Mm, that's for his little sketches, is what Robin told me. Um, he just is going to hold them and look over them, just admiring, and then just thank Call kind of quietly. Um, and he looks very happy with it, but he looks like he's kind of shy about it. Um, but yeah, so he's just doing that. Um, yeah. Um, ah, okay. Yeah, I think the whole time they're out too, Ren is going to actually be on kind of like high alert. So I don't know. Like whenever they go out into the street again, just kind of like he's still paranoid about being followed or
Mhm.
anything like that.
Give me one more perception check with that specifically in mind.
17.
Yeah, you feel like you've done an okay job, like keeping an eye out, but you never see any faces you recognize from the light hands.
Okay.
And you also don't get the feeling that someone is watching you. Um, Occasionally, when you're in a store, you feel like the proprietor of the store is watching you, but not like following you. Um, but yeah, so it's getting about to time that y'all expect Henry to wake up. Do y'all head back to meet him?
Yeah.
Or does Call test out the rope anymore?
I think Call's gonna go to the like yard outside of the barracks and either get in the workout that they didn't get this morning with whoever is there. I think actually Call's gonna do that.
Okay. Um, Arnold is up and seems to want to get some energy out, so
Arnold better be fucking stoked that Call just took a level in fighter.
Arnold is honestly so fucking pumped that like because like the way that comes out in the world is like you are less like dodgy and more blocky, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Um, and also like through the fight, you are able to like get your breath and get back into it easier. So there's no like measurable you took a level of fighter in Arnold's eyes, but there is like a oh, you get me and you decided to fight with me like me.
Nice. You better be happy. Good
He's
boy.
very happy. He's always happy though. Not to lessen the fact that he's happy about this, but he's a happy boy.
We
I
love
love
him.
him.
Um, with that, Henry, you do finally come to consciousness. Feeling, however, I'm not going to tell you how you're feeling, but I would assume not super great.
I think he's kind of startled. And so that makes him more awake than normal, because that dream was cray cray. Um, and um, he he takes a minute and he writes out a new note, which he puts in a little envelope and seals it. and he puts it in his pocket. And he looks in the mirror, and his hair and beard are the same as they were from this morning, which is no braids or knots or in his beard or in his hair, um, just kind of plain. And he looks at himself in the mirror, and just like he almost leaves without doing anything, but then he just like takes his hair to the side and does like a three-strand quick braid, which is like not normally that's like not even bare minimum for him usually, but that's bare minimum for today, and that's all he can do. And he ties a little ribbon bow in it and heads to the courtyard.
Um, I imagine that you come across Call sparring with Arnold.
Mhm.
What's Ren doing at this time?
Ren is off in the bleachers again, and he has put away his new quill and stuff in his bag, but he has um new notebook out, and he's saving the ink and stuff for when he has like a desk to work at. But right now he has a little charcoal stylus, and he's drawing in his new notebook, and he looks like something. He just looks like something.
How descriptive.
Most people tend to look like something. Most things tend to look like something.
Yep.
Does someone need to make a roll, or like what are we talking about here?
Can I
If
make
you
a
feel like
perception
it.
check?
Perception or insight, I guess. Like if I always feel weird about that because like I'm not the DM, so I'm not allowed to like
Yeah, go for
tell
it.
yeah, you want to roll for it and stuff. But
I love that. Okay, I just rolled perception or insight. Which one?
let's do insight.
Okay, that's a 19.
Yeah, you win. Um, Ren looks stupidly happy. He looks like he's, you know, when somebody like they're not visibly smiling, but you can still tell that they're smiling. He's doing that like a lot, and there's even a little bit of color in his cheeks. He just looks very happy. So,
Fucking cute.
So
and yeah,
Henry breaks into tears because that's
Yeah.
all he ever wanted.
um,
Um, mm.
yeah. I think whenever Henry comes over, Ren is gonna look up and just like smile at Henry and say, "Did you sleep well?"
Henry, I think can't stop himself from like running his thumb over like the blush that's on or the color I should say that's on Ren's cheek. Um, and he's just Henry's just smiling. He's just like he's
That's
very
very
happy for this.
forward of you, Henry, just automatically running your hand across Red's face.
Henry is very touchy. Um,
Okay. Yeah, I think Ren jumps at that, and I think his face turns redder, like he just realized he's happy and embarrassed about it. Um,
I'm sorry. I should have asked. But uh, you seem happy.
yeah, I'm happy. Um, are you feeling any better?
Yeah, sorry, I didn't yes. I am. I had some very weird dreams. We can talk about that later, but yeah, I feel a lot better and I'm happy I got some rest. Um yeah, what did y'all do this afternoon?
We just went shopping, and can you guys hear me okay still? I'm just worried about my mic. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we can hear you.
Okay.
yep.
Yeah, Ren's just gonna say, well, we went shopping, and now Carl is sparring with Arnold, and it's been a quiet day. The captain wanted to whenever all three of us were available, the captain had something for us, but for now, I think things look fairly calm. Um, he's a little concerned about the uh weird dreams thing that Henry mentioned, but figures that he'll let Henry talk about that when he's ready or when they're all together.
Hmm.
But
Does Ren say what the mission is from Captain Dunn?
No.
Okay. I think Henry asked. He's like, "Oh, what is it more to do with our favorite group of people in the city?"
Ren kind of smiles and says, "Yes, I believe it. I believe it does involve them."
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I am excited to help with that. Um, great. When are we going? When is this happening?
Ren's still just kind of smiling. Um, God, I'm so sorry, guys. Were we waiting for an update from Zerka
Yes,
later? Yeah.
Zerka said that they were like keeping a scouting eye out, and when they got a good time, they were gonna let y'all know.
Yes. Okay.
So,
Yeah. Ren's gonna relay that in, vague enough but clear enough terms, sort of, to
Mhm.
Henry. Like
Yeah,
not discussing mission information, but still, you get the idea. Yeah.
yeah.
Um.
Yeah. Well, great. Um, mind if I sit with you?
Please.
All right. Henry joins Ren on the bleachers and just kind of I think he watches as Ren doodles more, if Ren doodles more. And Henry takes out his own notebook, which Ren would see has just like plants. There's no other doodles besides the plants. Um, and Henry just starts drawing some sort of plant that's around and is doodling that.
um, I will say, I know that we've been saying bleachers a lot. It's like it's like a bench on the side of a footpath, like,
I know. I know. Just
but
being silly.
it's absolutely the bleachers for the context.
Let Ren be a soccer mom, okay?
God forbid. Um.
Be aggressive. Be aggressive.
The metaphorical bleachers. Um.
All right. I guess we get to a point where fighting ends and doodles have been doodled.
Now if y'all have, okay, full disclosure, from here we would likely go to light hands things, and that is not a 30-minute thing. Um, so do y'all have like a little thing that the party wants to go do, or do we want to call it here, knowing what we're getting into for the next session?
We could talk about Bennett some more
Y'all
if y'all
could talk.
Henry,
want.
well, Henry could inform Call and Ren about the dream.
Mhm.
Yes, let's do that. Okay. So when Call and Arnold wrap up and Call comes over, greetings and such, and then Henry says, could we go somewhere private to talk?
Yeah, of course.
Sure. Um. Yeah. Ren will offer his room as a meeting place again.
Cool. Um, and then Ren told them that he has Circle of Silence, right?
Yes.
Okay. Henry asks Ren if he could, or well, what level spell is that? It's a second level spell, isn't it?
Second or third. I don't
Yeah.
remember.
It's a second.
Um, Knowing that we're about to go into a fight, Henry is now suddenly hesitant to ask, but he says, um, I had a dream. I was having very weird, vivid dreams, and then one that felt different. And as it continued on, I got the sense that it was something or someone influencing the dream and causing me to see things. and they were interrogating me. And I somehow uh, wiled my way into making them reveal themselves. Um,
Call says nothing but looks very impressed.
yeah. Um, and Henry says, I, in the dream, they had a facade on, and they were trying to make it seem like it was just a dream and wanted me to give information, but I could feel that they were listening, and that's how I don't know. But I don't know if I should say. Henry kind of looks around and is like, kind of like visibly, kind of like fidgety, and starts to go into detail, but then stops, and like doesn't actually say anything. Um, and I think he looks at Ren and says, "I know we're probably gonna go into a fight, so should I wait to give y'all more details for a day that you don't need all of your magic? Because maybe I should say it when no one else can hear." Can Ben, can I make a check to see if it feels like they're listening? Yunaku's listening.
Fuck, what would that be?
Would
Make
it
a
be
spirit
Arcana?
check. Um,
Is it like perception or Arcana or religion,
um,
insight, survival?
I think it's religion. I think we're gonna do a religion check.
The hot six.
You have no idea.
Um, Ren feels safer casting the spell, so he's gonna go ahead and cast Circle of Silence so they can talk about this now.
Okay.
Um, yeah.
Okay. Henry says he tells them all the details about it being Jay and that there was no one around, and it really seemed like Jay was trying to get Henry to say Chell's and Trent's names or say the hearts. And then it is revealed to be Yanaku, and that he was laughing and spirits and wind, and that Yunaku was probably saying something because Yunaku talks with laughter and wind, as they know. But since he is not an oracle, he doesn't know, or whatever, he doesn't know what he was saying. But yeah. And he also says
Okay.
that he had sent a message to the hearts asking to meet. And he explains like, I feel like they should know that Yunaku is trying to get their names, and also um they when we saw the stain in the hills and we came back, Chell said to, or Lady Hart said to watch out for anything like this, since I was the one who saw the stain and heard the laughter in the hills.
Ren listens to all of this and nods slowly and says, I think you made the right decision. Um, they should know about this. I wonder if they could tell us anything else about this. How are you feeling?
Ben, am I feeling any different, or
Make a survival check.
is that a nat 1 or a nat 20? That's a nat 1. Plus
Oh.
5. Nat 1 plus 5.
Let's see.
No,
This is so.
that one on survival check, you
What?
die instantly.
What? What? Like, I Henry farts? Like, um, you don't feel I think it's honestly there's a lot of things that could contribute to Henry feeling kind of weird right now. So I think that Henry just feels kind of weird right now, and like he can't like he doesn't feel like he doesn't feel anything specifically influencing his himself.
Hmm.
But like he's had weird things with his ex. He's seen a demon lord. He's uh he was on very little sleep and then slept in the middle of the day and woke up from a rather stressful dream. Like there is shit going on for Henry at this exact moment. I think he just feels real weird right now.
Fair. Um, I think Henry says, I haven't really felt okay since last night. Um, but I don't know if it has anything to do with the dream or not. My ability to read myself right now is just kind of, uh, but maybe maybe I'll check in tomorrow and I'll have more information. Thank you. And he squeezes Ren's hand.
Ren squeezes back, still looking concerned, and just places Pier on Henry's lap. Because Truffle is not here to be the therapy buddy. But we have a very affectionate weasel. I want Truffle and Pier to be friends.
Yes.
Have
And
they?
Clarence.
And Clarence.
Oh.
Clarence is cheeky. Clarence definitely has a personality and is sentient. Changed my mind.
Oh my god. What's really bad is I was thinking of asking the ring, like, hey, you're kind of a weird sentient object thing. Can you talk to Clarence? Can you tell me what this does?
Take
For
the
some
ring.
reason that crossed my mind.
Put the ropes in the ring.
Clarence wears the ring and is like, another person?
Yeah.
Oh man, could you imagine like putting the rope in the ring and then the rope going up
No.
and being like, "Oh."
No. No. It was just the dumb, like, okay, like factors here. Talking ring? Sentient rope?
Oh. Oh
No.
man. Oh.
Oh shit, bro. Um, we've still never asked Oliver about Yanagu things at all. I just realized that. Maybe that'll be a later thing. Anyway,
Good thought.
yeah.
Yes.
Um
All right.
do y'all have any like final thoughts on the dream discussion that we want to get out now while we're still thinking about it?
I think yeah, Asher, if Henry covered everything and we've got an action plan, I think we're good.
I think we're good.
Okay, I don't think we should do this tonight, but I am gonna say it out loud so that if I rewatch the end of this next time, I'll actually remember. I will say that like y'all were wanting to make a plan on like action items for Bennett as well within the party. Y'all talked about that last session, and this would be an environment in which y'all could do that, especially while the Circle of Silence is still up. If y'all could talk major shit and no one will hear. Um,
That's real true.
You hear the king's brother? Did you hear about him?
so with that, I'm gonna go ahead and call it on the stream. Um, thanks for watching. If anyone is, goodbye.